Hi, I'm Fredrik Rundgren from Constructic. I will today show you Roofcalculator 2.0 CAD editor. Entering into the CAD editor part of Roofcalculator, you will have major changes compared to version 1.0. Here on the left side, you have the possibility to turn on and off the measurements. You can turn on and off the grid. You can also turn on and off the snap to grid function. We have an ortho function, and we also have moving origo, floating origo, which make it possible for you to adjust the origo point and use the origo point when you want to set an exact position of an inner court and roof light or an inset story. The measurement tools, you can either use the rectangle tool, we have an arc tool, and we have the line tool. On the right side, we have a couple of functions where you can just enter in the length and the width of the building, and through this get a very quick roof. Up here on the top, we have different objects on the roof. We can calculate with like an inset story, roof light, inner court. We can have a zoom area or a partial roof area. We'll start with a very simple roof. 30 by 60 meter roof. And we have made our roof 60 by 30 meter. We will immediately have a preview here up in the upper right corner. Click on the preview, and then you will see how your roof. Corner zone, parameter zone, and the field. We can also use the line tool and make more complicated roof shapes. Or we can also add an arc if you wish. Setting the start point, the end point, and then we set the height of the arc. Let's say 10 meters. Change back to line, and then we press escape to close the building. We can check out by looking at the preview. We see here our roof with the different roof zones and the different roof areas. Another function is inset story, roof light, inner court. If we start with an inset story, we can generate an inset story here on the roof, starting point. We have this one is 5 by 5 meter. Click, and then we set the height with the inset story, the 40 inset story. Let's say 2 meters. What happened now is that Roofcalculator will automatically calculate also the shadow area around the inset story. And here we've used the guidelines and in the standards from the Dutch standard, the Belgium standard, and the British standard. It will help the user to have a safe and good shadow area. This shadow area can also be set manually if you prefer to have it manually set. You can continue to make a roof light. And we can end with a small inner court here. See now that we have different objects on our roof. If we close and save by clicking here on the disk, we'll then have a preview of our roof drawing. We also have a better legend function here in the upper left corner compared to version 1.0, where we have the corner parameters, shadow areas, field, inner field, inset story, roof light, inner court, and we also work now with different color codes. With each calculation, we also supply a scale. This scale is accurate according to the drawing. So if you take your tape and measure this distance, you can then easily find out and measure all the different measurements on the drawing itself. Go back to the Roofcalculator CAD editor again, and we delete this drawing. Another function we have is that we can import a background. Choose File. Here we can either upload PDFs from CAD drawing or something else, or we can import a Google Earth picture. In this case, we take a Google Earth picture from a building, upload the image, and we have our picture here on our CAD area. We can change the size of the template or the background. We can also change the opacity. Makes it easier to see when you add other areas on the roof, such as roof lights and so on. We can change the horizontal position or vertical position. So you can adjust it on the grid as you want. Let's say that we are satisfied. We wish to make a drawing. The first we must do is to adjust the measurements of this picture to the grid. As for example, we know that this distance from that corner to that corner is 22 meters. What we do then, we click here on the Draw to Set Scale tool. We have our starting point, we have our end point, and we type in 22 meters. Now the grid has been adjusted after this background drawing or background picture. I select the Ortho tool and I turn off the Snap to Grid tool. Choose the line, add the first point here, go down to this corner, continue, follow all the facades on the drawing, and then we close the drawing by clicking Escape. See now in the preview that we have a new drawing. If we go back to our rectangle roof, make a very simple roof, finalize the roof by clicking on this diskette. We also have a lot of new features outside the drawing in the Roofcalculator tool. Roof drawing settings. We have a lot of possibilities here with the roof drawing settings to disable the inner field. And suddenly we only work with the corner parameter and field, and the inner field is then gone. Just to make it easier for the roofer. We can also merge the corner and the parameters. And then Roofcalculator will identify which pressure coefficient is the highest corner or parameter, and you use the highest pressure coefficient and use that for the whole area. If you have a small roof and you want to do it as easy as possible for the installers, you work with only two zones. You have one zone here around the building, and you have then the field area. So the installer does not have to look at 3 or 4 zones when they install the mechanically attached roof membrane. We also have a possibility to work with the parameter width. We can calculate the parameter width according to the Eurocode, or if you have different facades that gives different width of the parameter, Roofcalculator, if you click here, will take the largest width and use that for the complete building. Or you can set the width manually. Let's say that we want to have a 4 meter wide parameter on the building. And suddenly we will have a 4 meter wide parameter width. The inset story shadow areas, we can use it either according to the standard based on the height of the inset story, or we can set the width of the inset, the shadow area manually. We can hide a lot of measures, and also we can hide legend, scale, and a new function is that we can show line labels. Suddenly will pop up a letter A, B, C, and D for all facades. And by showing the line labels, you can also give instructions to the roofer and in notes to say that facade A, please install like XXX. Gives you a very good possibility to communicate with the roofers on site if you have any specific requirements for a specific facade. This was a short introduction to the new CAD editor 2.0 or Roofcalculator, and if you have any further question, please don't hesitate to give us a ring. Bye!